Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome back to the Fangoria Movie Challenge. This is a segment I've been doing with my good buddy, Joe the Horror Man, where we're not only going to watch, but also review all 101 movies Fangoria thinks we should have seen. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my favorites, Opera. Opera is a 1987 film which runs approximately 107 minutes and is written and directed by Dario Argento. He was responsible for Deep Red, Suspiria, and Inferno, among others. Now, this stars Christina Marshallak as Betty. She was in Simple Like Silver, Barocco, and Adolescence. Ian Charleston as Marco. He passed away on January 6, 1990, at the age of 40. He was in Chariots of Fire, Car Trouble, and Gandhi. And Urbano Barberini as Inspector Allen. He was in Gore, Casino Royale, and Answer Me. Now, the budget on this was $8 million, and apparently the lead actress was the hardest Argento had to work with. Alright, Opera happens to be my favorite Argento movie, and it has it's a giallo, so it has a super simple story until you get to the explanation at the end, which most giallos have. Now, this is about a opera singer who gets her part because something happens to the lead opera singer. She breaks her leg or twists her ankle or something like that. And she finally gets her chance and does something with it. She's really very good. Well, unfortunately, there is someone at the opera picking off people one by one in some of the most mean-spirited ways I have ever seen. I'm going to leave it at that because I feel like, unless you're really into Italian cinema, most people probably haven't seen Opera. And as I said before, this is my favorite Argento film. I'm going to be actually recommending my second favorite Argento film. But this film is wonderfully brutal, really, really gory, and creepy all at the same time. And as I said before, this is probably one of the most mean-spirited slashers I've ever seen. This is right up there with a movie that we're going to be reviewing very, very soon, which I'm not going to tell you. But yeah, it's definitely up there with that, in my opinion. Now, the camera work in this is where this movie shines. I mean, yes, you have your brutal kills, you have your mean-spirited kills and everything, but the camera work is phenomenal and was actually state-of-the-art at the time. In the opera, they have ravens, and these ravens get loose towards one part of one show, and they literally built a camera in order to get a bird's eye view of the audience that's watching the opera itself. It's amazing. It'll actually kind of make you dizzy if you look at it for too long, to be honest, because it did me. But it's just beautifully done. It's very smooth, kind of like a bird flies. It's not like jarring or anything, but it's very twisty and turny. And I felt like in this movie, especially, he experimented with a lot of different camera angles. He did that all throughout his career, but this movie has a ton of them. And I just think it's a beautifully made film. Now, on to my recommendation. I'm a big Argento fan, and I'm recommending my second favorite Argento movie, which hardly gets talked about. And that is Four Flies on Grey Velvet. Everybody talks about Deep Red, Suspiria, Inferno, Bird with Crystal Plumage, Cat o' Nine Tails, but hardly anyone ever talks about Four Flies on Grey Velvet, and that's a shame because this one is fantastic. Now, while I still consider it a slasher. It's not a typical slasher like most of his films. This is more of a whodunit and, a lot of red herrings like in most giallos, but it's just done so well. I love this movie. It is so good. Check out Opera. Now, this is in English, so you don't have to read subtitles. I'll also check out Four Flies on Grey Velvet because I love the movie. I just think it's fantastic. And don't forget to check out Joe's review and see what he picked as a relatable recommendation. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.